Hi, my name is Jean Ellingson, and I've been a member at Trinity Lutheran since 2014, although I was also a member here for 15 years when I lived in Spring Grove during the 1980s and 90s. I then moved to Rochester, where I worked for Mayo Clinic for 12 years before returning to Spring Grove. I love living in a small town because it's easy to become involved in local activities, including the church. I'm currently the lead of Trinity's communications team, but I've also served on worship music and arts. I play in the handbell choir, and I'm also a substitute organist. When COVID-19 hit earlier this year, the communications team was tasked with finding a way to keep in contact with all of our church members during this time of uncertainty and fear. We had gone from being an active congregation with Sunday worship services, choir, Sunday school, circle, youth groups, etc., to no activities and no in-person worship. We decided to try a calling tree where members would call other members to check in and update them on changes. Our initial concern was for our most senior members, as they often live alone and may not have local support. So our group initially started by calling those members who had reached the age of 80 and above. We touched base with them and asked if they had any needs that weren't being met. And we also gave them information about changes in Trinity's worship schedule, since we went from in-church services to online worship. We also asked if they had special prayer requests, and they responded by asking us to pray for those working in healthcare, parents who had suddenly become teachers at home, and our senior students whose final year at school was abruptly taken away from them. After finding these calls useful, we then continued our efforts by contacting all of our members, a big undertaking with 18 callers touching base with 350 family units. After a short breathing period, we again called our most senior members. At the time, it seemed as if we callers were offering to help members, but in reality, the callers were encouraged by the people that we called. The elderly had experienced many crises in their lives, and they reiterated over and over that this too shall pass and life will return to normal eventually. We all needed to hear that. Stewardship is often thought of as giving cash money to our church. In reality, we can all give something back to church. Sometimes it's money, but it can also be musical talent, the ability to teach children, or in our case, time to call and communicate with our members. I encourage you all to connect with our congregation in whatever way you can. You will be rewarded in the end. Thank you.